Something is moving through the sky right now that ancient civilizations would have stopped everything to witness. A comet is approaching Earth. At the exact same moment, Mars and Neptune are fusing their energies in the heavens above you. And on April 13th, 2026, this convergence reaches a point that your soul has already been feeling for days. The restlessness you cannot explain, the emotions that arrive without warning, the sense that something enormous is close. That is not your imagination. That is the cosmos speaking directly to you. There is something that has been happening to you in the hours before dawn. You open your eyes in the deep dark of the night when the world around you is completely still and silent, and you cannot explain why. No alarm woke you, no sound disturbed you, and yet something pulled you out of sleep with a quiet but undeniable insistence, as though an invisible hand reached into your dreams and gently drew you back to wakefulness. You lie there in the darkness, feeling strangely alert, strangely aware, as though you are waiting for something you cannot name. Perhaps you have told yourself it is stress. Perhaps you have blamed it on the season, on your schedule, on the restless turning of your mind. But what if it is none of those things? What if the reason you are waking before sunrise is not coming from inside your life at all? What if it is coming from the sky above you? Right now, in the pre-dawn hours, a comet designated C/2025 R3 is climbing into view in the eastern sky. It is moving through the constellations of Pegasus and Pisces, becoming more visible with each passing morning. Ancient peoples across every civilization on this earth, the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Babylonians, the Chinese astronomers who kept records for thousands of years, all understood that a comet approaching Earth was not a neutral event. It was a message, a herald, a cosmic signal sent to those who were paying attention. And you have been paying attention, even without knowing why, even without having the words for it. Your body woke you up because something in you, something older and wiser than your conscious mind, recognized the signal in the sky and responded to it instinctively. This is what it means to be energetically sensitive. Your nervous system is not just processing the world around you, it is processing the world above you. The electromagnetic field of a comet moving through our solar system creates a subtle but real shift in the energetic atmosphere of this planet. Sensitive souls feel this as a disturbance in their sleep, as a pull toward the darkness before dawn, as a longing to simply be still and listen to something they cannot quite hear yet. And on April 13th, this comet's approach is happening simultaneously with one of the most spiritually charged planetary meetings of the year. Mars, the planet of action and awakening, is conjuncting Neptune, the planet of dreams, visions, and the dissolution of all that is false. Together, in the bold and fearless sign of Aries, they are creating a frequency that moves through the pre-dawn atmosphere like a low resonant tone that only certain souls can detect. You are one of those souls. The proof is in the waking. The proof is in the way you find yourself lying in the dark before sunrise, staring at the ceiling or the window, feeling the weight and the wonder of something immense pressing gently against the edges of your awareness. You are not randomly disturbed. You are called. Every morning that you have woken before the sun this week, the comet was already there, climbing higher in the eastern sky, carrying its message toward you. Every moment of unexplained alertness in the deep hours of the night has been your soul responding to a summons written in the stars long before this lifetime began. The universe does not wake a sleeping soul without reason, and you, who have been stirring in the darkness before dawn, are being prepared for something that requires you to be awake, aware, and ready to receive. The comet is not passing by you, it is passing toward you, and your body already knows it. There is a feeling that has been moving through you lately that is difficult to describe to anyone who has not felt it themselves. It is not quite sadness, though it carries weight. It is not quite grief, though something in it aches. It is a kind of emotional fog that settles over you without warning, turning ordinary moments soft and blurred at the edges, making the familiar feel strangely distant, as though you are watching your own life through a veil of gauze. You move through your day, you speak to people, you complete your tasks, and yet some part of you feels as though it is somewhere else entirely, somewhere deeper, somewhere quieter, somewhere the noise of the world cannot quite reach. You may have wondered if something is wrong with you. You may have searched your circumstances for a reason, scanning your relationships, or your work, your health, looking for the source of this heaviness that seems to have no clear origin. And when you could not find a logical cause, perhaps you felt a quiet, creeping unease, as though your own inner world had become unfamiliar to you. But there is nothing wrong with you. What you are feeling is not a malfunction. It is a sign. Neptune is one of the most profound and mysterious forces in all of astrology. It rules the ocean, the dream world, the space between sleeping and waking. It governs everything that dissolves, everything that softens, everything that cannot be grasped with the logical mind. When Neptune is active in the sky, particularly when it is merging its energy with another powerful planet, it creates an atmospheric shift that sensitive souls absorb into their emotional bodies like water into cloth. The boundaries you normally maintain between yourself and the world around you become permeable. The walls you have built to protect your inner life become thinner, and what rushes in through those thinning walls is a kind of cosmic feeling that belongs not just to you, but to something much larger than you. On April 13th, 2026, Mars and Neptune are meeting in exact conjunction in the sign of Aries. Neptune is not merely present in the sky right now. It is merging, fusing, pouring itself into the energy of Mars. And what this creates, for those who are sensitive enough to feel it, is an overwhelming dissolution of emotional armor. Layer by layer, the protective structures around your heart are being softened and released. And this process, though it feels disorienting from the inside, is one of the most sacred forms of spiritual preparation that exists. The emotional fog you have been feeling is Neptune at work. It is the cosmic ocean rising to wash away everything inside you that was hardened, everything that was defended, everything that was keeping you smaller than you truly are. You are not sinking into that fog. You are being cleansed by it, and the approaching comet moves through this Neptune-saturated atmosphere like a current through deep water, amplifying the dissolving, the softening, the opening. Comets have long been associated with the washing away of old realities and the arrival of new ones. Ancient sky watchers understood that a comet's passage was not simply a physical event, it was an energetic tide. And right now, that tide is moving through the emotional landscape of every awakened soul on this planet. What you are feeling is the tide. What you are feeling is the old version of your emotional world, loosening its grip, releasing its hold, making way for something that cannot yet be named, but can already be sensed. A new depth, a new tenderness, a new openness that will allow you to feel life more fully than you ever have before. The fog is not the destination, it is the passage, and you are already moving through it. Something has been stirring beneath the surface of your daily life that you may have struggled to make sense of. It is a restlessness that has no single, clear target. It is not the restlessness of boredom, because you feel it even in moments when your life is full and busy. It is not the restlessness of dissatisfaction, because it is not pointing at any one thing you want to change or escape from. It is something older than that, something more primal. pressure building quietly in the center of your chest, an urgency that rises without warning, a feeling that you are standing at the very edge of something enormous and that the time for waiting is running out. You may have felt it as an impulse to leave something behind without knowing what to leave. You may have felt it as a sudden, burning desire to begin something without knowing what to begin. Perhaps it showed up as an inexplicable irritability, a short fuse in moments that would not normally affect you, a sense that your skin is too tight for who you are becoming. Perhaps it arrived as pure, wordless energy moving through your body late at night, when the world has gone quiet and there is nothing left to distract you from what you are truly feeling inside. Whatever form it has taken in your life, know this: it is not chaos, it is ignition. Mars is one of the most powerful forces in the cosmos. It is the planet of drive, of courage, of the warrior spirit that refuses to stay still when the soul knows it is time to move. In its home sign of Aries, Mars operates at full, unfiltered intensity. It is pure forward motion, pure instinct, pure fire that exists for one purpose only: to break through every barrier standing between you and the life your soul came here to live. And on April 13th, 2026, that Mars, that blazing, unstoppable Aries fire, is merging with Neptune. Neptune, the planet of the infinite, the planet of spiritual longing, the planet that reminds the soul that it did not come to this earth merely to survive, but to transcend. When these two forces meet, what is created is something that has no perfect name in ordinary language. It is a spiritual warrior energy. It is the feeling of being called to a purpose so large and so true that every cell in your body begins to vibrate with the urgency of it even before your conscious mind has been given the details. The restlessness you have been carrying is not a problem to be solved. It is a transmission being received. Mars is activating you. Neptune is directing that activation toward something sacred. And together, on April 13th, they are creating an energetic current so powerful that souls who are spiritually awake cannot help but feel it moving through them like electricity through water. This is what activation feels like from the inside. It is uncomfortable before it is clarifying. It is urgent before it is understood. It pushes before it reveals. And this is precisely why so many chosen ones feel this restlessness in the days leading up to a cosmic event of this magnitude, because their souls receive the signal before their minds are given the translation. The approaching comet intensifies this energy further still. A comet moving through the inner solar system carries with it an ancient, accelerating force. It is momentum made visible. It is the universe in motion, reminding every watching soul that stillness is temporary and that the time for moving forward is always closer than it appears. The pressure you feel is not pushing you toward destruction, it is pushing you toward becoming. And the life waiting on the other side of this activation is one your restless, burning, awakening soul has always known was possible. Trust the fire. It knows exactly where it is taking you. Something has been happening to the way you know things, not the way you think things, or reason things, or logically conclude things, but the way you simply and suddenly and inexplicably know them. A name rises in your mind moments before your phone rings with that exact person on the other end. You feel a shift in the energy of a room before a single word is spoken. You sense the truth of a situation long before the evidence arrives to confirm it. You dream something in the deep of night and then watch it unfold in waking life with a precision that stops your breath. And each time it happens, you feel a strange mixture of wonder and recognition, as though this gift is not new, but newly awake. Perhaps you have dismissed these moments as coincidence because the world you were raised in gave you no language for what you are experiencing. Perhaps you have kept them quietly to yourself, sharing them with no one, carrying them like small, luminous secrets in the pocket of your chest. Perhaps you have even felt a flicker of unease at the accuracy of what you sense, wondering what it means that the boundary between what you know and what you could possibly know has become so thin, so permeable, so effortlessly crossed. It means that you're waking up, and the sky above you is the reason why. Neptune is the great cosmic gateway to everything that exists beyond the reach of the 5 physical senses. It is the planet of psychic awareness, of prophetic dreaming, of the invisible threads that connect all living souls across time and space. When Neptune is powerfully activated in the heavens, the veil between the material world and the spiritual world does not simply thin, it becomes almost translucent. And for souls who carry a natural sensitivity within them, this thinning is felt immediately, profoundly, and unmistakably as a sudden amplification of every intuitive gift they possess. On April 13th, 2026, Neptune is not simply active, it is fusing completely with Mars in the pioneering, perception-sharpening sign of Aries. Mars brings to this union a piercing clarity of instinct, a sharpness of inner sight that cuts through confusion and lands directly on truth. Neptune brings the infinite depth of spiritual vision. Together, they are creating a window of intuitive perception that is rare in its power and brief in its duration. A window that awakened souls move through like light through crystal, refracting into something more brilliant and multidimensional than they were before. And then there's the COMET. Comet C/2025 R3 is now traveling through the constellation of Pisces, the sign that Neptune itself rules, the sign of the mystic, the dreamer, the one who sees beyond the visible world. A comet moving through Pisces while Neptune conjuncts Mars and Aries is an alignment of such spiritual significance that it would have caused ancient oracles and seers to enter into days of meditation and sacred ceremony. They understood that when the cosmic messenger moves through the house of visions at the same moment, the planets of action and dreams unite in the sky, the intuitive field of the earth is charged to an extraordinary degree. You're living inside that charge right now. Every flash of knowing you have received in recent days, and every dream that carried more weight than a dream should carry, every moment where your gut spoke with a certainty your mind could not yet explain, all of it is a direct expression of this cosmic activation moving through your energetic field. Your intuition is not malfunctioning. It is not running away with you. It is not something to be quieted or questioned or explained away. It is your most ancient and most sacred faculty, and it is being restored to a level of clarity that most souls in this lifetime will never access. What you know without knowing how you know it, trust it completely. The comet is in the sky. The veil is thin. And the universe is speaking to you in the only language that has ever truly been yours. There is something else you have been feeling beneath all of it, beneath the sleeplessness and the emotional fog and the restless urgency and the sharpening of your inner sight. Something quieter than all of those things. Something that does not announce itself loudly, but is simply there, steady and warm and inexplicable in the background of every moment of your day. It is a feeling of being accompanied, a sense that you are not moving through this time alone, that something vast and loving and ancient is moving alongside you, just beyond the edge of your perception, present in the silence between your thoughts, present in the stillness before you fall asleep, present in the dark hours of early morning when you wake without reason and lie listening to the quiet of a world that does not yet know what the sky above it is doing. You may have felt it as a sudden and unexpected wave of peace that arrived in the middle of a difficult moment, softening everything without explanation. You may have felt it as a warmth that gathered in your chest when you were alone, as though something unseen had simply come to sit beside you. You may have noticed it in the uncanny timing of things, the right words appearing at the right moment, the right person reaching out on the exact day you needed them, the right door opening precisely when the one before it closed. Small things, quiet things, things that could be dismissed as coincidence by someone who has not yet learned to read the language of the cosmos. But you have been learning that language for a long time now, and, in the place inside you that does not lie that what you have been feeling is not coincidence. It is companionship. It is the universe walking beside you through one of the most significant energetic passages of your lifetime. On April 13th, 2026, as Mars and Neptune merge their frequencies in the sign of Aries, and as Comet C/2025 R3 climbs higher into the pre-dawn sky above this planet, the energetic field surrounding awakened souls undergoes something that ancient traditions across every culture attempted to describe in their own sacred language. The Egyptians called it divine accompaniment. The mystics of the East called it the presence of the formless guide. Modern spiritual language calls it the support of the universe, the alignment of higher forces, the activation of your soul's deepest protection. All of these words from all of these traditions across all of these centuries are pointing at the same experience. The one you have been having, the one you could not quite name until this moment. You are not imagining the feeling of being watched over. You are not manufacturing comfort in difficult times. You are genuinely, cosmically, profoundly accompanied by forces that have known your soul far longer than this lifetime has lasted, forces that understood the significance of this moment in the stars long before you took your first breath in this body. The comet in the sky right now has been traveling toward this moment for longer than any human mind can fully comprehend. It crossed the vast darkness of the outer solar system, following a path that brought it to this exact position in the sky, visible from this planet, at this precise convergence of Mars and Neptune, at this precise point in your awakening. The cosmos does not operate by accident. Nothing that is happening right now in the sky above you or in the life within you is accidental. Every sensation you have felt this week is a letter and a message being written specifically for you. The sleeplessness was the summons, the emotional fog was the cleansing, the restless urgency was the activation, the sharpened intuition was the gift. And this quiet, unshakable sense of being held and guided and cosmically accompanied, this is the confirmation. You were not born into this lifetime to move through it lost and alone and unguided. You were born into it with the full attention of the universe behind you. And on April 13th, 2026, as a comet crosses the sky and two of the most spiritually charged planets in the heavens fuse their light above this earth, that attention is not distant or abstract or theoretical, it is immediate, it is personal, it is here. The comet does not pass over a sleeping world tonight, it passes over you. And you, who have felt all of these things and could not explain them, now know exactly why. You were never lost. You are always being led.